Ladies and gentlemen, podcast listeners of all ages, are you bored with traditional and dull real estate content?
Yes!
Do you want to be entertained by the most successful, innovative, and forward-thinking industry professionals?
Yes!
Do you want to elevate your business, be challenged to take action, and raise the bar in your personal and business dojo?
Yeah!
Now welcome your ninja host, Jeff Fitzer.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Real Estate and Mortgage Content Ninja podcast. And today, I am here actually sitting in my car, if you're watching. Had a little mix-up with the wife today. But that is how important this podcast is to me because I will record these from anywhere. And for today's guest, literally anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Sharran Srivatsaa of Kingston Lane fame, the 5 a.m. club, and where I met him giving the $1 billion listing presentation. Sharran, welcome to the show, my brother.
Jeff, thanks for having me, man. I think you just have the most natural audio video announcer persona. You're so good.
I appreciate that. Practice, you know. But it's easy to get excited when I have guests like you. You know, I'm based out of the Midwest. You're based out of California. I don't know how many people in my area know about you. So tell them about yourself. Tell them about your background in the real estate business and what you do now.
First, thank you for having me. And so here, I'll give you the last 10 years very quickly because I've spent a lot of my time in the trenches. And what I mean by that is about 8 years ago, we acquired a real estate business that was a small business in the Beverly Hills market in California. I had no real estate brokerage or agent experience before then. I was an investor, built and sold a couple of companies, so I understood the business component of it. So I was a technology guy in the Silicon Valley. I was an investment banker on Wall Street. And then I invested in this real estate company believing that we could create something special. So when I started off, the company name was Teles Properties, 4 times on the Inc. 500 list. We actually took it over when it had about 45 agents in the Beverly Hills marketplace. And me and my partners grew it 10x in 5 years. So we grew it from 45 agents to close to 600 agents in 5 years. When we ended up, we were doing close to $3.5 billion in sales. And we were acquired last year by a national powerhouse firm out of New York called Douglas Elliman. Elliman bought us. We were the largest acquisition for Douglas Elliman in their history. And so it was a good event for everybody involved. But I spent my entire time cutting my teeth with agents day to day. I was in living rooms, at the doors, in buyer consultations, working on marketing, working on systems, because I believe that a lot of brokers, owners, principals spend the time like building the vision, sitting in the ivory tower, but where the rubber meets the road, where the money's actually made, where the bacon is actually gotten, is when a client asks you a tough question, you can deliver a great answer because that's your value prop. That gets exciting because that ups people's confidence. When a confident real estate agent, a confident loan officer, a confident real estate professional can do wonders compared to the malaise that is out there. So all I think about every single day is what tools, what strategies, what tactics can I deliver, can I install in my friends who are real estate agents around the world that can up their game, up their production, and get them their next million.
That is absolutely awesome. And I had no idea that was your background, Wall Street and all that jazz. What would inspire someone to go from those backgrounds and acquire a real estate company?
It's a great question. So my partner, we were investing in several technology companies. So we had invested in a bunch of real estate-based technology companies. And we realized that we didn't have any touch with the agent and the consumer, and we were selling products to the agents. And I was like, this is insane. Like, why would we sell products to the agents in technology and systems, but we don't know how agents work? So we were passive investors in a real estate company so that we can learn what agents do in a day-to-day sandbox level. It was more a empathy play to get access to agents to get their feedback. Well, then I realized that being in the belly of the beast, the agent works so hard and gets beaten by so many forces around them that when I saw that happening, Jeff, I was like, there's such an amazing opportunity to build a better agent. And it doesn't take a lot. It's just amazing set of tools and strategies and give them the confidence. Because have you ever noticed Jeff and Sharran walk into the living room, Jeff and Sharran deliver the same value, Jeff and Sharran have the same pitch, Jeff and Sharran work with the same firm, like you're going to win because you're more handsome than I am. But other than that, what wins is the person with more confidence and more swagger wins. You deliver this confidence, and that confidence comes with the enthusiasm and the courage that you can have in the living room. And I've found that the courage and the confidence comes when you can really embrace the agent and give them tools, strategies that are super practical that they can use right now, not the theoretical of, ooh, let's set some goals, and in 3 years, we'll figure out where to get. Like, that's cool, but what can I do right now that can get me a listing right now, that can make me excited about it right now? We want more of those because we know that that builds confidence.
Is that a glorified way of saying you teach agents to fully understand their value proposition and how to deliver it? Is that what you're saying?
100% right. I think, Jeff, there's a fundamental disconnect, which is we walk into the living room, we walk into a buyer consultation. So we only have two ways of thinking about the world as an agent. We just say, hey, I'm number one, or I've done this, or I am awesome, because we feel like we need to sell ourselves all the time. Not everybody can be number one, even though everyone claims to be number one. But if they can't be number one, what the agent does is they just take the firm's value proposition and make it their own. And that's okay, right? Those are the only two ways. However, no one has ever taught us how to deliver a value proposition. No one has ever taught us what our value proposition is. I call it the only statement. No one has ever taught us what only we can do. It's almost like telling my son, who's 7 years old, hey, like, solve this algebraic equation. Like, well, whatever. Like, he's like, Dad, you never taught me how to do that, so I'm just going to like figure it out on my own. But if we can give an agent the blueprint, and like, I'll give you something very simple. Very, very simple, right? The number one mistake most agents make when they walk into a living room is they walk in and they say, could you give me a tour? But because they want to get a tour of the house so they can get a sense of what they're actually selling. But we all know that who cares? You're there to sell the process, and you as the agent, whatever the house is, you're going to be able to sell it. Who cares whether you need to see it or not? The key phrasing right then is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, do you mind if we sit down and strategize? Right? Now you get a strategy. You're like, now the phrasing is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, it's my job to bring you an offer that you want at a price that you want at the terms that you want. So you keep bringing me back to that story, right? Can I bring you an offer that you want at a price that you want at the terms that you want? So if you do that, now I've given somebody a very tactical tool to actually intro their value proposition, because now they can say, how do I get offers? How do I get the price? How do I get the terms? So how do I get the offers is marketing. How do I get the price is strategy. How do I get the terms is negotiation. So now they can talk about anything in the living room and they never have to go off of script, because now the client is like, oh my gosh, like Jeff and Sharran, I love them because they're going to get me an offer that I want at the price that I want at the terms that I want. Otherwise, you walk in and you're like, say, I'm awesome, I'm amazing, I'm number one, etc. They don't remember anything, but they remember what's in it for them. So when we can install a few phrasing, a few strategies, it starts up the confidence of the agent right away.
So would you say that the average agent, and I've obviously heard you spew this before through your $1 billion listing presentation. One, when an agent goes into a listing presentation, what is probably the most common, I won't call it a mistake, but the most common thing that they use? And I use the same thing when I'm teaching loan officers. Differentiate yourself, be different, be better. What would you say that most agents commonly do? Give me 3 things that you think that they do when they go into a listing presentation. What do they say?
Yeah, common things. First thing, the most common thing 9 out of 10 agents do is they take the tour first, which is very simple and practical. But when you do that, you're walking through a home blind without establishing rapport or structure or strategy. So you can get asked any question at that time. And when you do sit down, you're already at a disadvantage. Like, I'm walking through the house and then suddenly, like, say the client tells me, oh, Sharran, did you see that home next door sold for 1.6 million? I have no context. I don't know what to say. I don't know whether I should stop and defend that value. I don't know whether the agent should get more. I don't know whether this home is better. Like, it's really complex time. So now you're actually dealing with objections before you've even sat down. Like, the easiest thing I would say is don't do the tour up front. Sit down, strategize, take control of the meeting, set the stage for when you're going to do the tour. The tour ends up being the right physical breaking point when you need to take a break, right? Generally, I would do the tour before pricing, because you're like, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, let's actually take a quick tour. Let me look at it from the perspective of the buyer and the perspective of a lender. Then you start to really think through that. So that's problem number 1. Number 2, we walk in and do what we call the promise. Hey, when you list with me, I'm going to do this. I have my 72-point marketing plan. I'm going to do this. We just spew everything that we're going to do. I call that the promise, right? Nobody hires us because of the promise, because the next guy can come back and do the same promise. I want to flip it, right? I call it proof. over promise. So if you walk in and say, let me actually show you what I have done, show you, like the show you, this is the key phrase. That way you can actually show them, hey, as a preparation for this appointment, I already put together some certain marketing material. Or when we sold a home down the street next door, we did these 14 things. Here, look, right? Now it's not I'm going to do the same for you. Look, I've already done this. I got this result. We should do something similar so we can replicate the result for you, right? So the proof over promise is super powerful. The promise is really where it gets hokey because we start to overpromise, right? Because then I think the reason we promise is we want to promise a bunch of stuff because when we get to the commission and the fees, we want it to sound like we have promised so many things that they're not going to negotiate us down. That's the reason everybody promises stuff. But if you show proof, you don't have to defend anything because you've already shown proof. Then the commission becomes so much easier.
Right. You make it so damn easy. This is awesome. Keep going.
The interesting part is, like, what you bring to the appointment is like a case study. You just bring, hey, let me show you what I did on 123 Main Street. Let me show you what I did with the neighbor. Let me show you what I did here. That's a really soft way of saying, hey, look at all the stuff I've done without saying that, right? So you don't have to say, here's everything that I sold. You can say, look at what I've done here and here and here and how it relates to you. That's a soft way of saying, look, I have all this experience without bragging, right? So that's proof over promise. Number 3, I would never, ever leave an appointment without homework. Today, I will tell you 9 out of 10 people do not sign at the living room, right? The average agent may say, I'm going to sign the listing right here. And that's generally based on urgency of the client, right? But 9 out of 10 people that are interviewing folks won't sign a listing agreement right there on the spot. First, that's okay. We want to get homework out of there, right? Like homework is super, super important. So if my homework is, hey, I'm going to do a CMA, or my homework is, I'm going to do some sample marketing material, or my homework is, I'm going to deliver a marketing plan, I always try to get homework that is due within 24 hours. And I always tell the client, Mrs. Client, let me do some homework. And can we agree that until we go over this homework, promise me that you won't make a decision, right? I ask for that because now, whether or not they give you the promise, at least you have gotten the commitment that, oh crap, like I told Jeff that I wouldn't make a decision until I saw his homework. Now you've done homework, the other agent has not. You're already working for them for free. I'm not saying they feel guilty. They feel like you're already in their corner, and that gets very exciting very quickly. So my job is always, can I enter and set the stage? Can I show proof over promise? And I will never, ever leave without homework that I can deliver on in 24 hours that is really tangible. And just those 3 things will dramatically up the take rates or the conversion rates for agents.
That's fantastic. So now that we're on the topic, let's go ahead and take the audience back to what you talk about in the $1 billion listing presentation, which is your pregame. Yeah. Tell them how you pregame before you even show up to the listing.
I'll tell you the story. None of this hit me, Jeff, until one day my wife and I were at Whole Foods, the grocery store, right? Pushing our cart around. It's kind of like our 45 minutes away from the kids shopping, right? Like the super therapeutic for us. And my wife tells me, hey, like, come here quickly. And I said, what? She goes, look, do you know that couple? And she's whispering. And my wife was like a conservative, introverted person. And I look and I see these 2, attractive couple in the corner. And I was like, I have no idea who they are, right? And I actually like remember people, generally speaking. And she goes, dude, like we had dinner with them. And I go, there's no way we had dinner with them for like, she's like, yeah, we went to this restaurant. It was like 2.5 hours long. It was just us, the 4 of us. Do you remember their names? I was like, I have no idea, right? It's probably like a year and a half ago, whatever, right? Whatever. I couldn't even remember their names. And I remember like 95% of people's names. And I was like, wait, that's when it hit me, Jeff. We were in a restaurant, the dinner probably that I paid for 2.5 hours with a couple talking about our lives. And I didn't remember their names. When a client is going through a pitch and they are interviewing agents, generally they talk to 1 or 2 agents, maybe 3, I don't know. It's called 3 agents. The agents come in, they pitch. They generally get 45 minutes to an hour maybe. Client's not listening after 45 minutes, right? They're just totally glazed and tuned out. So the client's gone through 3 pitches, maybe over 3 days. There is no way they remember anything. Like we are kidding ourselves if they remember anything, like especially anything that of granularity that we said. Say, oh, this is my team, this is my process. They're like, whoa, I'm not listening. Like I can't remember. Like I don't remember like a person's name. I thought, Jeff, wouldn't it be insane if we could change that mindset and win more before we get to the living room? So my thought process was, if I didn't even have to pitch how would I win, right? And that's the question we should be asking is, if I didn't have to pitch, how would I win, right? And the way you do that is as many touches as possible before the appointment that are value added, right? So it would be as simple as you would take a picture with your team and you would say, hey, Jeff, looking forward to seeing you in 3 days. We are brainstorming a strategy on how we can bring your home to market. Just that. It can be just that, right? Just a picture with your team. Or it could be a drop-off before the appointment saying, looking forward to meeting with you tomorrow. Here are some materials for you to look over. That's okay. It's a touch, right? It's a touch. My favorite thing is shooting a video in front of the house and actually sending it to them as a text message saying, oh, I'm actually standing in front of 123 Main Street. This is one of my clients who's potentially bringing this home to market in the next 3 to 6 weeks. If you are looking to live in this community, please contact me because this home is not for sale yet. You don't send it to anybody. You send it to the client. And you say, Mr. and Mrs. Client, this is something that I recorded. With your permission, I would love to share this with 3 people. Is it okay? Now, the client doesn't need to say yes or no. They just need to say, whoa, wait, what did Jeff just do? Like, he's automatically marketing my home. If he has the courage to get on camera, what other things can he do? And now if you do all 3 of that before you get to the living room, the client's like, you send me a video with your team, you're already thinking about me. You dropped off a package, you're already thinking about me. I've looked through it, so I have more touches with you. You did a video. Whether or not I like it is irrelevant, but you have the courage to do something and you're thinking about how to find me a buyer. Wow. Like the other 3 people that I interviewed haven't done squat. Now, at this point, Jeff, you as the client have to make a decision and you're not going to interview 3 people. I already win, right?
Sick.
I think the question we should always ask is, not how do I set up the appointment? That's what everyone does. How can I set up this appointment? No. How can I win if they don't interview anybody? That is the way you think, right? And people are like, oh, my magic is when I show up in the living room and I bring my charisma. That's great. I appreciate that. But you tell them what you're going to tell them. You send them what you're going to tell them. You show them what you're going to tell them. You show up and tell them what you gave them. You still win because now the repetition and the frequency starts to build trust, right? So the pregame is super important, especially if multiple people are involved.
That is so ridiculously good. I've been in this business 18 years, going on 19 years, and I don't ever remember, and I'm sure there's some out there, a broker giving this much phenomenal advice, strategy to their real estate agents, because the truth is, I think it was number 2 of the first 3 that says, I'm going to go in with, and this is how I'm going to market, and this is how I'm going to put it on social media, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to do, because that's just what we do. That's just what we do. It's absolutely amazing. I imagine, and I'm jumping back to you selling your company to personal question. I mean, you were killing it. You 10x'd your business. The offer obviously had to be good. I'm not going to get that personal, but for you to get out of the business, is this what led you to where you are today with Kingston Lane?
So great question. I'll share like high level numbers, right? I think I shared with you, we were close to 600 agents. We were doing roughly $10 million per agent. And that was a very focused model. The model was if an agent with our services and our training was not selling at least $1 million home a month, which is, that's where we are in the California marketplace, and took January and December off, right? Because we know that 60 days agents are not working, right? So 10 months, 10 homes, $1 million each. I think if they couldn't do that, we put them on notice. Like we fired the bottom 10% of our agents every quarter. Every quarter, because I was like, I don't need another desk. I don't need another fee. I want great agents representing the brand, driving value. A couple of things happened. We had gotten to the point of growth where it was exciting to have someone with not just deep pockets, but big reach, take what we had built and get it to the next level. We always promised that we would never sell to a brand that couldn't enhance what we had already built. And I think Douglas Elliman's definitely doing that in California. I felt good, kind of walking out the door and having it be in good hands of a great company. But most importantly, Jeff, I realized that there are 3 things that drive a real estate agent. Number 1, it would be nice if they have some kind of goal, right? And it'd be nice if they have some kind of plan. I will tell you right now, 80% of the agents, if you have some kind of goal that you're committed to and some kind of plan that you run every day, you win. Like some kind of goal and some kind of plan. And I would ask the agent listening right now, if you don't have some kind of goal or some kind of plan, like follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, join Kingston Lane, whatever. Like I will show you how to get some kind of goal and some kind of plan. The third part is you need some kind of execution. The reason we built Kingston Lane, which is a execution platform for agents, is I wanted the execution game to be easy for agents because agents do really well with clients. The agents get in this business not to sit in front of a computer. Agents sit in this business to socialize, to go with their friends, to run parties at their school, to negotiate deals, to like put deals together. Like agents are deal junkies. It's totally cool. They love the art of the deal. They should do more of that. But if you want to do geographic farming, it would be nice if you can just hit 3 buttons and have geographic farming done for you. Like you shouldn't overthink your geographic farming. If you want marketing, you should be able to hit 3 buttons and have your marketing done for you, like the way it was done in the luxury markets, right? So we built the company with the luxury markets in mind because I said, hey, if a piece is good enough to run in Beverly Hills, a piece is good enough to run in St. Louis, in Topeka. I don't call it A's and B markets. I just say there's price point variance across the country. If the she consumer of Beverly Hills is able to be okay with the creatives and the pieces and the marketing we generate, it should be conceptually okay for the rest of the world, right? Conceptually. Mm-hmm. So the drive behind starting Kingston Lane was, can we build a platform around the world where agents do what they do best and leave all the execution to people who want to drive and deliver execution?
Let me say something for you, because you mentioned $1 Million Home, which immediately would get vast majority of our country to say, oh shit, this doesn't apply to me. But by $1 Million Home, you mean $300,000 home in St. Louis. You
Correct.
Mean the upper quarter. It's going to allow you to, if you're in my market and you're doing a bunch of $150,000 homes, which is a lot of them, it might allow you to take your game up to the 250, 300, 350, 400, and so on, because that's what $1 Million Home is in Beverly Hills. In fact, it's probably a shack.
The reason we built this is also across price points, right? So Kingston Lane is an international platform. We have 10 countries on right now, and there's price variance across the board. The interesting part is people have to do the same thing everywhere. They still run open houses and need flyers. They still have to do Facebook ads. It's all the same. But what I'm talking about is the approach where we should not be spending valuable sales time doing non-revenue generating activities. And Kingston Lane's the largest client base is in the Midwest, the largest client base, because the more homes you do, the more marketing you need to get the more home sales, right? In Beverly Hills, you can get by selling one home. You can get by selling one $13 million home. But in St. Louis, you need to sell like 20 homes to actually, to win. So marketing and leverage becomes even more important, right? Our platform was built for the agent that wants to do more, wants to be more, the transactional agent that wants to put marketing and sales and lead generation on autopilot so that they can go sell more.
I love it. So let's go back to one of the terms you used, and let's assume that our audience is not the most savvy and may not understand what the geographic farming is. Elaborate on that. Elaborate how Kingston Lane integrates that and boosts it for their clients.
Yeah, totally. I interviewed 52 of the top real estate teams in North America. And I realized, Jeff, that all I was trying to do was find a pattern. What is one thing that is common across 52 top North American teams? It may be people, team size, location, they were all across the board. And it's amazing. The one thing that was common across all of them was they had a particular area focus, or call it a geographic farming focus. They picked a neighborhood, or picked an area, or picked a focused set of homes to go after so they can build a brand and a sustainable business around a set of homes, right? And then I realized, well, wait, if all these teams have built a sustainable business on that, every agent should be doing something like that, regardless of the size of this farm, right? It could be, maybe the big teams are farming 1,000 homes at a time. It's totally okay to farm 50 homes at a time and just become really well known in one corner of the neighborhood. It's totally okay. But the problem becomes, there's this traditional thought process, Jeff, that says the neighborhood you're canvassing should at least have 500 homes. It should at least have 7% turnover. You need to at least mail postcards to this home for 18 months before you get one listing. Dude, like that's insane, right? 18 months to a 500 home farm with like 3 pieces a month, like that is so expensive. And so I come from not the geographic farming thought process. I come from the geographic layering thought process, which is if I could get a sense of how this neighborhood works quickly, can I test my marketing in this neighborhood quickly? And if I get results, I'll do more. If I don't get results, I'll go find another neighborhood, right? A lot of times agents will beat their head against a neighborhood saying, I have farmed here for 2 years. I have door knocked here for 2 years. I've sent postcards and flyer drop for 2 years. I haven't gotten a deal. It's only a matter of time. That's what you and I call the sunk cost fallacy, right? It's gone. You would have gotten something by now, right? And if you haven't, like maybe the strategies that you have in place are like not working. Here's what Kingston Lane does. It's so simple where you say, you can test with that as low as $100. One time, no contracts, no commitments. We use Facebook geotargeting and our proprietary algorithm. And Jeff, it's this simple. You click $100, you say zip code 90210, and you say go. That's it. 3 clicks. $100, 90210, go. And so what our team does after that is we take the 90210 directive, we take the $100, we go build targeted ads to potential sellers in that marketplace. We do the geographic targeting. We actually figure out what ads will work best at what times. We give our agents free landing pages, like home valuation landing pages that they'd have to go out and pay $99 a month or $150 a month. We give infrastructure to agents for free on Kingston Lane. And we actually take that $100 and drive ads to that marketplaces, help clients register and get leads. So within 24 to 48 hours of clicking 3 buttons, our agents start getting leads right away. So it'll take less than 30 seconds to actually start to know whether a neighborhood is worth farming, a neighborhood is worth exploring, a neighborhood is worth going after, and the testing is so fast.
Wow. So how long does that go on? What is the process?
So we generally run ads for 3 to 5 days. After 5 days, we see a drop off in ads on the Facebook algorithm. So generally it's on the 4.5 day mark. We run the ads at specific timeframes in which we know that the ads work. We figure out the geographic density. Like we do all the back end stuff. The agent doesn't have to do anything. So what it gets for them is all the management of the ads, the money to run the ads. There's nothing extra that the agents have to pay. They pay the $100 and everything is included, including the lead landing pages, including the management, including all the leads that they get. And we do the whole process A to Z. It's a 5-day campaign. You get a report on everything that's run and all the leads and the scripts to respond to those leads.
Dude, you got to be losing money.
Well, when we do it across the world, it can get exciting pretty quickly.
I bet so. Volume. That is so huge that if you don't know what Sharran is talking about here and the power of creating the ads, we do some listing boosting, we do ads for listing. And in fact, we just did one. I'm testing this out. We'll talk off camera about this, but we ran one last week in 2.5 days. It drove 55 buyer leads. And it cost $20 to run the ad. It was the agent's listing. I guarantee they got more leads and better leads than they get on Zillow all day long and twice on Sunday. And you just have to utilize the resources and tools that are out there. And the truth is most agents probably won't even do this, which is why you need a Kingston Lane behind you.
Yeah. The interesting part here, Jeff, is it's free to join the platform. Like we give our infrastructure away for free. We give you landing pages. We give you a website. You can use it on your own if you want. But think about this. Let's say, Jeff, you have a listing that's going live. And maybe, I don't know if you can do coming soons in Missouri, but maybe you can.
Yes.
So let's say you run a coming soon campaign. The coming soon campaign is 3 clicks. I got 123 Main Street. It's coming soon. Go. Right? We just do it. But the best part is before the home comes to the market, and you have 13 leads or buyer registrations, now it's not about the buyer registration. It's about going to the client and saying, Mr. and Mrs. Client, I promised that I would run this ad. We have 13 buyer inquiries. Do you mind if I set up a pre-MLS open house just for the neighbors and these leads so that I can launch this to create the energy when we launch? That's a whole different pitch, right? Now the client's like, wait, Jeff, my home's not even live on the market. How did you generate all these leads? The client is now having dinner with a friend and the friend's like, hey, so how's the home sale going? Dude, you got to check out my agent, Jeff. It's insane. Like the home's not even live and he generated this event. Can you imagine? Like that is the conversation we want, right? We don't want Jeff did a great job. We want to deliver the unexpected. They expect activity when the home goes live. But when you can deliver activity before the home goes live, now they're like, this is insane. So now whether or not anything happens when the home goes live is irrelevant. They're already singing your praises. It's very exciting very quickly.
Dude, that is beast mode, man. I absolutely love this. So is there anything else, and we're running a little late on time, anything else Kingston Lane driven that you want to share on this podcast?
The one thing that I want to give everyone access to, Jeff, is this. The number one thing agents talk to me about all the time, every agent across the country, is marketing. Marketing, 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 right? They say marketing is the lifeblood of my business. I want pieces made, be postcards, flyers, brochures, social media images. I want them all the time. But maybe sometimes my broker is backed up in the way they deliver that. That's why a lot of them like reach out, to you and your team for help. They say, how do I get support around this? Or they're like, hey, I can't afford my own marketing person because like that's another $5,000 a month that I can't afford. Or a team has 7, 8 agents and their marketing person is overwhelmed, cranking out a lot of these pieces. So now they go to Fiverr.com and they start building like crappy pieces that now they have to tell them about the Department of Real Estate regulations and things like that they had no idea about. So I was thinking, Jeff, I was like, wouldn't it be amazing if we could create a very simple marketing program that agents will love, that is extremely inexpensive, that everybody can afford, and it had what they wanted. So there are only 2 things agents want. They want a drag and drop interface. So on Friday night, they want to build a flyer. They want to be able to drag and drop and on a beautiful, modern looking template, doesn't matter what it is, but they want the ability to drag and drop a bunch of stuff and generate stuff right away because they want to control everything and still stay compliant. Great. I said, if you can offer that, that's awesome. But you also have the agent that's like, I don't want to drag or drop anything. I want a team to build this for me. I want them to do it well. And I don't want it get nickel and dimed on a per piece basis. I just want to be able to do more, be more. If I have 30 listings a month, I just want 30, 60, 90 unlimited flyers, unlimited postcards, whatever. Jeff, we built this program where you have drag and drop on beautiful designs from across the world, and you have unlimited pieces that you can build with a design team, unlimited, $99 a month per agent, right? Unlimited. It is, if an agent out there cannot afford $99 a month for unlimited marketing, we need to work on goals and plans because it's okay, but we need to get there, right? Like you don't have to invest anything else in marketing because you instantly get unlimited flyers, unlimited postcards, unlimited, doesn't include print and postage, which you would do anyway. But this is all the design services run by a creative team that you don't have to go find ever again, right? It's all online. The team does everything, 24-hour turnaround, or the drag and drop is instant, but $99 a month, we lose money on this, by the way. I'll tell you right now. We lose money on this, right? And the reason I want to offer this is I'd love for people to do more of that so that they spend more time on the platform so they can get more business, so they can win more. This is a loss leader for us. I want to say that because everybody should take advantage of our loss leader. Like they should take advantage of it because those prices are going up. And we are in 10 countries, and this is probably the most popular program in all 10 countries, which is $99 a month. I never have to worry about marketing again. I can order unlimited pieces.
And you can make it compliant to whatever broker.
Correct.
Awesome. And I'm going to plug this for anybody in the Midwest. And Sharran, you can verify this right now or deny me one way or the other. We are working on an event in October through Lab Code Agents. This is a Lab Code Agents event. Sharran is going to come speak at this event. He's going to be one of several speakers. But Sharran has also graciously offered to stick around for another day and do a bunch more presentations. So anybody who's in the Midwest market and wants a bigger piece of this, who wants to dive deeper on Kingston Lane, which I've heard enough. Hell, Sharran, if I was an agent right now, I'd be like begging you to get back in the broker business so I can work for you. I mean, this is, dude, it's awesome, man. I mean, it's so excitable. And, you know, you and I have collaborated since we met, which was just a couple of months ago. And since then, I've taken some of your strategies and implemented them into my business. And I can tell you, folks, this is sick stuff, man. It works. And if you are not listening to guys like this, which is my next plug, so number one plug, kingstonlane.com, you've got to check that out. You got a free sign up. You heard what you get for $99 a month. You heard what you can get to drive leads for $99. You've got to try this stuff. It's next level. It's now level. And if you don't get on now, in 6 months from now, when you decide to get on, Sharran's going to be already on to the next thing. So get on this stuff now, which plugs your other, I don't know if you want to call it a business or mastermind or group, which is the 5 a.m. Club. Tell the listeners a little bit about that.
The 5 a.m. Club is a 5-minute call at 5 in the morning. It costs you
5 in the morning Pacific time.
Correct. 5-minute call, 5 a.m. Pacific time, $3,000 a month. No, I'm just joking. It's 100% free. The story here is we all need accountability in different parts in our lives. Some of us are more disciplined than others. Some of us are more disciplined in some parts of our lives than others. Like I wanted, Jeff, some public accountability on waking up so that I can wake up and crush my day. So I started this. It actually came out with a health issue that I had. I wanted to wake up earlier, work out, meditate, etc. I started this 5 a.m. club call. I would call 3 of my friends at 5 in the morning. And it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes at 5 a.m. Just chime into a conference line. You don't have to say anything. I do all the talking. The goal is to bring you in either a humor-oriented or inspirational message that you can start your day with. The 3 friends invited 3 more. The 3 invited 10 more. The 10 invited 100 more. So over the last 3 years, organically, we are today at over 2,500 people, 2,500 people on this call every single morning at 5 a.m. It's 5amclub.net. It's my way of giving back. It's my way of building a community where people can jump on. It's easy for folks in the Midwest because it's not 5 a.m. So you can cheat, whether you're in the Midwest or on the East Coast. Maybe if you're mountain time, it's 6. If you're in the Central, it's 7 a.m. Chance to just start. It's 5 minutes. A way to just anchor your day, get a good message. I've had people use the call as an anchor to lose hundreds of pounds. I've people use the call to kick habits. I've used the call to build meditation routines. People use the call to spend more time with their children, use the call to build and grow their business, use the call to write a book because they use the time to get up in the morning. Whatever it may be, it's 5 minutes at 5 a.m. No recordings, no replays ever. It's live 5 minutes at 5 a.m. and it's our way of just giving back to agents around the world. We have hundreds of millionaires on the call. There are 2 billionaires on the call and about only 20% real estate specific, 80% entrepreneurs.
Awesome stuff. And so let me repeat that. We've got kingstonlane.com. We've got the 5amclub.net, correct?
Yes.
And we've got Sharran coming to the Midwest in early October. Details are coming soon. Check that out. You do not want to miss this opportunity. And as my involvement with Lab Coat Agents increases and we continue to do these events, I am going to be begging and pleading for Sharran to come everywhere we go because he is so good and so riveting and so engaging. And it is so much energy. You will take so much content from it. I promise you, it is absolutely worth the price of admission, no matter what it is. It is worth the price of admission. And dude, I cannot wait till you come to St. Louis. This is going to be so much fun. We're going to have such a good time. You, Tristan Ahumada, who else is coming?
I think Kevin maybe.
Kevin Markarian's coming. I think Sunit Agarwal's coming. We're going to have some good lineup of speakers. That's going to be tons of value to real estate agents specifically. If you're a loan officer, 2 reasons you need to be there. 1, you need to understand how real estate agents grow their business because you should be the authority on their business. You should be the one helping them grow their business. And 2, you want to be inviting your real estate agents to events like this so when they leave there, mind blown, they remember who invited them, who brought them that value. Sharran, I really, really appreciate you being on today. This is freaking awesome. Look forward to doing the next interview. We'll probably do a little tease interview before the event. I'm sure we'll talk very, very soon, my brother.
Hey, Jeff, thank you for doing this. I know it's not easy to put a podcast together, video together, bringing constant value every single day, getting on people's calendars, and you're just a great, generous guy, building a big team, have this mindset of abundance where you want to give so much. I appreciate you, and I look forward to doing more with you and your agents and your community and your loan officers, especially your loan officers, because I think we can work with them to give them more tools to help agents succeed as well.
I agree. And on that giving thought, if you enjoy this podcast, share it with people who will gain value from this. It's a giver's gain mentality. Go give me a plug, go give me some feedback on this. We would really appreciate it. Sharran, thank you again. I look forward to the next time we get to connect, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff.
If you're looking to elevate your business, aligned with continual innovation and evolution, Jeff wants to talk to you. Go to FitzerMortgageTeam.com and connect with him today.